When yields back, I now recognize the chair of the full committee, Chair Rodgers, for 5 minutes for the purposes of an opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since the invention of the Ford Model T, America has led the world in car manufacturing and technology. The combustion engine has allowed people from around the world to increase their mobility, raise their standard of living. For more than half a century, affordable transportation has helped drive America's economic success. The question we should be asking today is whether we want America to be leading the auto sector for the next 100 years. Nearly 20 years ago, China made the decision to fully electrify. Today, by some estimates, they're building an average of 2 coal-fired plants per day in order to meet their needs to fully electrify. I continue to hear from some of my colleagues, well, we just need to put more money into this system. That is money that is going to China. China dominates the supply chains. It's China's technology that is being used in electric vehicles and the batteries. Those supply chains include nickel from Russia, cobalt from Congo, lithium from China. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been the United States of America that has been leading in bringing down carbon emissions. We have led the world. It's been American technology and innovation that has resulted in us leading the world in bringing down carbon emissions. It's not China. China continues to increase their carbon emissions. China's carbon emissions are going to continue to increase until at least 2030, 2032. So today we are discussing a proposed rule by EPA that would have us follow China's lead. It's just one of 151 proposed rules by EPA. 151 rules right now at OMB, Office of Management Budget, the White House, by EPA. And this is a rule that would basically, by 2032, take away the choice from Americans. 95% of the cars that Americans drive today would no longer be made available. Today's hearing is really fundamentally about whether, and if we're going to make this decision, if the United States is going to make this decision to fully electrify its transportation fleet, it should be the elected representatives of the people that are making that decision. That is a decision that belongs in this committee, the Energy and Commerce Committee. When it comes to protecting consumers' affordable transportation choices and preferences, that should be a debate in Congress. The cars we drive, how we fuel them. We need to make sure that it's practical, affordable. Top-down government mandates and subsidies will not reduce emissions or lower cost. Americans deserve to have the choice to decide what mode of transportation suits them best. So the proposed rule suggests that it proposed that 2/3 of the cars, nearly 70% of the cars, by 2032 must be 100% battery electric. Not hybrids, not plug-in hybrids, not hydrogen, not any other technology. 100% battery electric. That's China's goal. That's China's agenda. Since when is the United States of America following China's lead? I've heard from many of my colleagues, I've heard from the Secretary of Energy that we need to be following China's lead. I don't agree. I don't agree for a moment. And this proposed rule is an affront to representative government. It's an affront to the elected representatives of the people, and it's an affront actually to every American. So, instead of forcing Americans to spend more money on vehicles that they don't want to buy, on vehicles that only advance a political agenda, let's get back to the work of making sure that people have access to affordable, reliable, functional means of transportation. Let's get focused on improving mobility choices. Let's get focused on American technology and innovation. Protecting people's way of life and the ability to provide for their families should be a bipartisan priority. America has long celebrated that we trust people to make the best decisions for themselves, not a government that decides for them. And today, we have the EPA wanting to decide for us, not even the elected representatives of the people. I yield back.
The gentlelady yields back. I now recognize the gentleman from New Jersey.